Hi there. A special welcome to all of you who have joined this live chat session, especially the members who uh, have bought the membership and they are the first ones to join live chats. Especially thankful to you. Let me welcome the participants, then two main topics in this live chat, which will shed some light on. Shafo, is the first one who commented today. Shafo is a member too. Warm welcome to you, Shafo. Hope you are doing fine. Ben Omar says, hello, Sajid. Relatively new name for me. Nahom Architects, a regular viewer from Addis Ababa, says, good evening. Yonit Farah says, I wanted to be first, but your viewers are faster. Uh, Viewers wait for me. I wait for this time to be in this live chat to talk to viewers. Peace and Love, second member who joined today is Peace and Love. How are you, Peace and Love? Mesfin K joined too. Farabdi joined from Somalia. Good evening, he says. Farabdi is very passionate about his love for Somalia. Uh, Ali Raya says, Sajid Bhai, brother. Bhai means brother in Urdu. How are you, Ali? John Spencer says, hi. Muhammad Umar says, good evening. Horn Ali Sajid Bhai, India, brother. Is it the same Pakistani language? Uh, I think brother or bhai is used in both India and Pakistan. India has uh, hundreds of different languages, ethnic groups, and cultures. And Indian Hindi is a mixture of Urdu and Hindi too. Every day use Hindi, especially Hindi of Indian films, because Indian films want to attract both audience, Muslims, Hindus, etc. That is why their Hindi is not pure Hindi; it's a mixture of Hindi and Urdu. So Urdu is, I think, understood in India, just like Hindi is understood in obviously in India. But in Pakistan, Hindi is not understood. So, so pure Hindi is difficult to be understood in Pakistan. Amano says, good evening. Amano is also a member. How are you, Amano? It's awesome to join your live chat tonight. Thank you, Amano. Vaisal says, hi, good evening. Robra uh, Abteo, hi, Olaf. In, initiated forever, there is no division between Ola. No, no, I'm not talking about that division. I am not talking about split. Division means a new group, a new unit, you can say. Unit is a smaller group, but division is a large unit, just like a military division, which has thousands of soldiers. Ola has formed two divisions, means that two new specialized wings have been formed. Yoni says, start with Volkait and Raya, please. Marcos Bilacho says, hi. Sigaye Olana, Dandi Legisa, Lilo. Today you update us here 4 times. For up the year, TNO joined a member. Special welcome to you. TNO says, good evening, Sajid. The premier purveyor of unbiased political information in the Horn of Africa. Thank you, TNO. Two people make it possible. Korko Deng says, which arm wings? I'll talk about that. Mojo hai two. Samuel Falake joined two. Muhammad Ali. Anani BK here. Where is Oromia? Did they form the two divisions? Where in Oromia? Okay, I'll explain in coming after a few minutes. Just one quick response to the comment by a viewer. He said, start with Ulkayat and Raya. Yoni is saying, I'll do a video, detailed video tomorrow, but I, a few hours ago, shared an update from Raya Alamata for you. 30,000 have been displaced from Raya Alamata. Confirm 29,000 to be exact. confirmed today by UN. People would say, Sajid, these are Amharas. They were settled in southern zone. They're not Tigrayans or they're not original inhabitants of the area. But that's not fair. Uh, they are mostly women and children. They were scared that war was coming to Raya. That is why they fled. We cannot say that they were original residents or not. We have no evidence. But they are the vulnerable sections of society. Women, children, elderly, they have fled because they were scared. This is not the way to resolve this dispute between Tigray and Amhara. These IDPs should return to Raya. Tigray should also welcome them, though Tigray is not directly responsible for their displacement. Tigray Party did not frighten them, did not tell them to leave the area. But still, I think the solution is that these IDPs should return to their homes in Alamata. And obviously, if the IDPs start flooding, the Amhara regional state, Amhara government will be forced to take some action too, which we'll talk about tomorrow. UNOCHA today said that the refugees, the IDPs, were at camps. Enough aid was not available. People were supporting the IDPs, Amhara IDPs, in three cities: Voldia, Hobo, and Sikota. So now this number is coming from UNOCHA, not from my views. People say, you're Amhara, you're anti-Tigray. I am not Amhara, I'm neither Tigray nor Amhara, but I am reporting facts that people should know what is the situation on the ground. Amhara is being and by the way, so far Tigrayan fighters are not withdrawing. I did a video. I told you that despite some messages from the federal forces to Tigray fighters to withdraw, they're not withdrawing. They're still there in control of large parts of Alamata. Definitely, they'll now change the demographic balance. Tigrayans will now move into these new areas, the Tigrayan IDBs, etc. So, and after that, if referendum is held, obviously the Tigrayans here will be in majority. Amhara's fleeing, Tigrayans coming, and two Tigrayan journalists and activists have shared pictures from Alamata city. How did they manage to enter Alamata, by the way? My question is, how did they manage to enter Alamata? People were saying, Sajid, you are spreading rumors. No one entered Alamata city. No one from Tigray. No TDF member. No IDP. So you are spreading propaganda to support Amhara people. But now pictures are coming from Alamata city showing Tigrayan activists there. The activists who are like fighters, I would say, because they've been fighting in social media, but they are staunch supporters of TDF. They are there now, sharing pictures from there. It means that Tigray fighters entered Alamata city, but in small number. Basically, TDF is not in charge in Alamata city. END is in charge, but around Alamata, Koram, etc., TDF is in charge, not IDPs. This is what I have from Alamata. Polkayat, I'll let you know once I have information about major developments. I don't want to talk about rumors there. I told you about militia training there, resumed last week. Some meetings held by Damak Zadu. I cannot share contents of the meeting off the record, but he held some meeting there. This is what is from Volkayat. Now, two news stories which just a roundup. Oromo Liberation Army has formed two new divisions. OLA is calling it a big step towards the achievement of its goals. Final goal of reaching Addis Ababa. Two divisions formed where, what is their task, who is leading them. Secondly, Abiy was in southern Ethiopia today in Gurage zone. There he addressed armed groups. What did he say? Mojo here too. He says, I don't see Amhara giving up their territory to Tigray. So if this is the sentiment, how will they should be resolved? Nisabho joined too. Hi Sajid, I agree, but like you mentioned, Tigray is not responsible for the displacement. I agree with that. Directly not responsible. Shafo well. I accuse ENDF more than Tigray for these displacements. Shafo says, how was Prime Minister of Core State to visit to Gurage? I'll speak on that, Shafo. Yoni says, Sajid, you need to blame Amhara regional government for scaring Amhara residents. EDF did not hurt civilians in Alamata. I think they were not frightened by Amhara regional government. Maybe Amhara's provisional government in Alamata played a role, and maybe ENDF as well. Actually, ENDF frightened Amhara militias. And Amhara militias, then thank you, Umar Ijarsa, for buying this super chat sticker. He says, you are a propagandist. It's okay, Sajid, claim ownership. What do you mean? So, I think ENDF is responsible. And secondly, Amhara provisional government is responsible. It has been dismantled. Amhara militias are responsible. They fled and they covered up their retreat by telling people that you should also leave because again fighters are coming, war is coming here, people will die. We need to regroup ourselves in Amhara region. Let's go there. So all of them are responsible. For example, from Alamata, people fled. EDF did not enter Alamata in large numbers. Only a few entered there. Why did they leave Alamata? Amharas. Obviously, they were scared. They were frightened. Omar, I couldn't understand what you're writing. Please write again. I'll read your comment. No matter it's in support of me or against me. Alim says, any truth that he wanted the people down there to apologize to him. I heard about that, by the way. Uh, okay, I'll respond to it. Let me start with yours. Thank you, Ali Raya. Aman was here too. Imam joined too. Hi, Sajid. People should respect your unbiased views. You are telling the reality on the ground. Well, that's my job, by the way. If people appreciate me, it keeps me going. But if they don't appreciate me, even then I'll not do my job because this is my job is that I should tell the truth. I should keep people updated with the developments happening in Ethiopia. This is my responsibility, by the way. As a presenter, I'm responsible for what I report. So I make mistakes, I make corrections, but I should not misguide people. Let's start with yours. Thank you, Farah. Appreciating Sarah. Two new divisions formed by the Oromo Liberation Army. One is Hora Arsade. Second one is Mada Al Boda. Where will these new divisions operate? Why was the need for the establishment of new divisions? I think Ola has 6 divisions in entire Oromia. 6 divisions, led by 6 senior-most Oromo Liberation Army commanders. Now, Ola has added 2 more. It has 8 divisions in entire Oromia. Why was the need for the formation of these 2 new divisions? For the Oromo Liberation Army, they want to up the ante. They want to accelerate their struggle. And they say these 2 new divisions will lead to the start of a decisive phase of Ola's resistance movement against the Ethiopian federal government and regional government. By the way, military is claiming that Ola is dying that the sun is setting on the Roma Liberation Army. Uh, and on daily basis, we see videos, interviews of Ethiopian military officers. They claim that that hundreds of OLA members are surrendering in Valaga, etc. But when we talk to the Roma Liberation Army, they deny, they reject government's claims. The two new division formed. First is Hora Arsade. Hora Arsade is going to operate around Addis Ababa. Ola is not known for having significant military presence very close to or inside Addis Ababa. That is why this new division has been formed, Hora Arsad. Who will lead this new division? It will be led by Jal Jilcha. Jilcha is Oromo Abagada Gubina's son. This week, Ethiopian state media claimed that Jilcha had been killed. And Abagada Gubina's house was raided several times this year, last year too. Jilcha is alive because I did a video on that. He appeared in an interview a few hours ago. He's there. Jilcha will lead this new division around Addis Ababa. It seems, by the way, that 2024 is going to be a key year for Ethiopian armed groups. Fano groups making inroads into Addis Ababa, though so far they have not been able to register any significant impact on Addis Ababa. Just one shootout between Fano and Addis Ababa police in Bole sub-city. Two Fano fighters were killed, one was captured. That is what Fano has achieved so far. But Fano managed to enter Addis Ababa through Oromia from Amhara. Ola does not want to stay behind. Addis Ababa is called Finfine by Ola. It is stated destination of the Oromo Liberation Army by Ola. Ola has formed a specialized unit to operate around Addis Ababa called Hora Arsade. Second division formed is Mada al Boda. I don't know the Fano language but I got translations from some sources and they say Mada al Boda means sources of minerals. Correct me if I'm wrong because some Oromos must be watching me. Mada al Boda means sources of minerals. This division of the Oromo Liberation Army will operate in southern Oromia, especially in around Guji. And the objective of the formation of this thank you, Aguna, for confirming that Al Buddha means mineral in Afan Oromo. This Ola division has been tasked with securing the mineral resources of the Oromia region. By the way, Valaga is also mineral rich, metal rich. It has mineral resources. And people say Ola is involved in mineral extraction, metal extraction and export in Valaga. People say that. So now government Ola wants to ensure that the mineral resources are either under Ola or government is not able to make use of Oromia's mineral resources, especially in southern Oromia. That is why this new brigade, Mada al-Buddha, has been formed. Ola says that these two brigades will take Ola's struggle to a new level. Ethiopian government will face more financial uh, challenges because Ola is not going to allow government to extract mineral resources in Oromia. Secondly, OLA is going to reach Addis Ababa. It will accelerate its operations in, around, near Addis Ababa. T&O says, under Jula's leadership, any army can defeat ENDF. He lacks the charisma and command response presence I have witnessed in other commanders. Well, I would say that it's not because of Jula that military is demoralized. I think civil wars are always very stressful. When you kill your own people, it's difficult. For any army in the world, civil war is a challenge. Civil war is stressful. Civil war lacks the ideology which militaries should have to fight. In civil wars, militaries don't have the ideology which convinces them to kill. When they are fighting external wars, armies, they're convinced. They're fighting for their homeland. That patriotism keeps them going, and psychologically they're less affected. But when they are part of operations inside their country, they are bound to be depressed. No matter what happens, no matter who army's commander is, whether it's Jula or someone else, it is difficult to lead the army against your own people. Bashi, I'm fine. How are you? Mojo says these two new brigades are they like Brigade Nihamido? Let's see. They're not Brigade Nihamido, armed and very strategic, by the way. The decision of formation of brigade is very strategic, by the way. But let's see if it is going to be implemented or not. By the way, this Batero Gasa's murder is going to keep Oromia region destabilized for years. I said that when the day Batero Orgasa was murdered, that this murder is going to strike uh, a blow to the hopes of political settlement to the armed conflict in the Oromia region. Will Ola ever trust Ethiopian government now? And you saw what Jalmaro and Gemicho Boy, Musadderep and Gemicho Boy said 2 days ago, 3 days ago. They share details of what happened in Tanzania. It means that in near future, in coming days, weeks, or months, maybe no talks will be held between Ola and government. You'll see unrest, instability spread in Oromia as well. Like we are seeing that unrest has engulfed the entire Amhara region. Despite government's claims that normalcy is returning, full normalcy is far from being seen on the ground in Amhara region. Now, second news story, viewers. Let me speak a little on that. Then we'll end the live chat session. PM Abiy was in Gurage today. Volkite. What is the correct pronunciation of this city? Volkite. Average Dom is asking about update on IMF. Okay, I have an update. I'll speak on that in detail tomorrow, but I have a few points for you, which I'll speak on after a few minutes. What is the correct pronunciation of the city in Gurage? Volkite, because Volkayat is that which is in western zone, Humera Volkayat Sagad. Abiy visited Gurage today, and there a large gathering was seen to welcome the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. If you remember, when last time PM Abiy visited Gurage, uh, people partially went on strike. Businesses remained closed. Back then, Gurage people were criticizing the government. They wanted to have a separate regional state, but they were not being given that separate regional state. They were being told that they can be part of another region, but no separate regional state. Uh, this time we saw a big gathering. Now, unconfirmed reports are being shared that Gurage elders apologized to the Prime Minister of Ethiopia for what happened last time. Last time, in a way, they boycotted the Prime Minister's visit. They protested indirectly. They did not receive him very warmly. This time, we saw a big gathering in support of the Prime Minister there to welcome him. Now, what happened when PM Abiy spoke in Gurage today? PM Abiy addressed armed groups. Problem in Ethiopia is that Gachina Side says it's none of your business to talk about Ola and Oromo as a whole because you are anti-Oromo from your beginning. Well, you can call me anti-Oromo, anti-Amhara, anti-Oromia, but you cannot stop me from talking about Oromia, Ola, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Pakistan, India, America, US. That's my right. Just like you are free to speak here. I'm not banning you. Speak, let me speak as well. So, PM Abiy labeled armed groups as if they are the proxies of external forces. Thank you, Yamaskan. Yamaskan says, Sajid, I guess I got to buy a sticker to ask this question. No, you can ask question without buying a sticker. How come you're not speaking about recent Fano clashes? I am covering Fano's activities too. A lot is happening other than Fano's activities. I compiled some. Thank you, Shafo. I compiled some reports today, but I could not make a video. Hopefully, tomorrow I'll do a video. Mostly, when it comes to Fano's activities, dozens of activities are happening. I cannot cover each and every, but I try to confirm everything and then I share only significant activities with you people, which are significant, which could have a major role in the overall struggle by Fano fighters. So hopefully tomorrow I'll do a video on that. PM Abiy labeled the armed groups in Ethiopia today as if they're proxies of external players. He said, Ethiopia is greater than you, greater than those who are feeding you, who are financing you, who are paying you. What does it mean? Does it mean he's saying that he said those who are in the forest, they should know Ethiopia is greater than you, greater than those who are paying you, who are backing you. So, this is one of the problems, by the way, that whenever people raise a genuine issue, they are called traitors. If anyone criticizes the government, if anyone tries to hold the government accountable, he or she is bound to be labeled as a traitor, as a proxy of Egypt, proxy of Eritrea, proxy of Somalia, proxy of US, proxy of Sudan. How will you resolve internal issues if you don't acknowledge that there are issues? Disputes can only be resolved, can only be solved if you acknowledge first that there is an actual genuine dispute which needs solution. But when you label armed groups as proxies, it means that you want to crush them, you want to destroy them. And this is what government is doing now. It wants to crush Fano. It is luring Ola into joining the fight against other armed groups. It intends to crush OLA as well. OLA says the government is trying to divide OLA. It tried to crush TDF too. It weakened TDF to a considerable extent. And it agreed to talk to TDF when TDF was ready to make compromise. Muhammad Ali says, I see women, Somali, oh, they carry guns, Somali people, no problem. Yeah, I have seen videos from the ongoing Somali Afar conflict where women were seen firing. They were part of the ongoing fighting. Uh, Women suffer too in these conflicts, but in a far Somali conflict, reportedly, they are actively participating. Dark Star says, Sajid, is Jula truly in charge or is he just a figurehead? Because I have heard from someone who used to close the defense forces that actually military officers behind the scenes are the true power. Which military officers? Are you Gezahegan Hele? Which military? Are you talking about Dase from Amhara? I don't see the federal government giving all the powers to about Dase. I don't see that. It won't happen. Though he is in charge of operations against Fano in Amhara, still, I don't think government will fully trust him. So, best option for the government maybe is Jula, not people like Tomas Genterone or Babo Tadase, Birhano Bakale, another top man from Oromia. So Jula is still the main man, I would say. That is why the man talks about political issues too, as if he is the leader of the country. He talks about agreements too. He talks about the solutions to the political issues as well. Now, Average Dome asked a question about OLA government or IMF government talks. I read a video this morning about the talks ongoing in the US. An IMF official this morning gave an interview. He said that still there are differences between Ethiopian government and the IMF. And differences are being discussed. Talks ongoing. He said he was cautiously optimistic. It means that there are issues. And the main issue, by the way, is devaluation of Ethiopian birrs. Mooney is not here. I wish he would have been here today because I know he is well connected. He knows what is happening. So if he joins, I would request him to share with you the. No, he's not here so far. We privately talk about the discussions, the demands of the IMF, the demands of the government too. He is very familiar. Uh, he is fully updated with the ongoing meetings in the US. No, he wasn't talking about armed groups, Jalmaro. He was addressing armed groups, labeling them as traitors, labeling them as proxies. I think the main issue between the IMF and World Bank is devaluation of Ethiopian birr. How much devaluation? This is the issue. Ethiopia would like to devalue birr gradually because if it devalues birr now uh, and it devalues it, for example, by 30-40%, it will lead to inflation. People will suffer a lot. I think it wants devaluation gradual. IMF wants quick and more devaluation than Ethiopia is agreeing to. Darni says, I am still 50-50 on IMF issue. I have information, but yeah, that is what IMF said, that the IMF was cautiously optimistic. But keeping in view that World Bank signed the financing agreements of 1.7 billion US dollar with Ethiopia, I think some progress has been made. Ethiopia will have to make concessions. It will have to devalue a birr if it does not have any alternatives. Ethiopia has to sign the agreement by June because Paris Club members give this deadline. So Ethiopia, I think, will devalue birr. It might get the bailout package of a few billion US dollars. Lilo, Sajid, don't you think Ethiopian politics to be complicated? Well, politics is not complicated. You need to say that political and security situation is common because politics alone is nothing in Ethiopia. One party rule, no opposition. Only armed groups are opposition groups in Ethiopia. Opposition parties are nowhere to be seen because they're not allowed to work. So the challenge is political and security. These armed groups, maybe they were forced to take up arms because they had no means of peaceful political struggle. When we say political issues, it means security issues as well. It means ethnic issues as well. All that is mixed up. So 38 minutes have passed. I think we should end this live chat session. OLA form two new divisions. I spoke in detail on that on these two divisions. Where will they operate? Who will lead them? What are their tasks? Secondly, I talked about Pim Abi's visit of Gurage. He addressed armed groups. He labeled them as proxies of foreign players. He labeled them as traitors. So he is not ready to acknowledge that these armed groups have some genuine political demands. Thank you for watching, for being part of this live chat. Elim says, does the bailout package come with conditions? Obviously, with conditions. IMF packages always come with conditions. By the way, IMF gives loans on very low markup. If they are lending money, they will ensure that the borrower is able to return the money. That is why they impose some restrictions. They make the borrower to agree to some conditions. Because how will they recover if they don't have any conditions which they want the borrower to agree to before they release the loans to borrowers? That is why the conditions will have to be met. Conditions are mostly uh, economy related. I wouldn't say that Ethiopia would come under the US or under the West, but the economy will be controlled partially by the IMF. Why? Because IMF would want its money back. Very simple. So thank you for watching. I think we should end the live chat session. Stay blessed. I'll be back tomorrow. Till then, bye bye.